Communication gaps. In listening skills, the teacher needs to make a note of communication gaps. Communication gaps take place in speaking activities also. The speaker says something and then pauses and then continues with something new. So that creates a communication gap and the listener cannot understand the full meaning of the message being conveyed. In listening skills, the teacher needs to inform the students that there shouldn't be any communication gaps while listening to the audio tape. And in case there are any communication gaps, the teacher needs to play the audio again and make sure that the students, they pick up the missed information. For example, the teacher has to develop careful listening habits amongst the students. That is the first thing that she needs to inculcate in order to avoid communication gaps. That is that while the students are doing the listening activity, they should be fully alert and paying attention to the listening conversation. Also, the teacher needs to keep all distractions away and there shouldn't be any interruption and intervention or any kind of movement in the class. Secondly, the listening should be done in a friendly classroom environment. The students should be very relaxed. They should not be tense that they are going to do something very difficult, because this tension would not let them listen carefully and pay attention to the details which are required by the students to listen to and then register in their minds and then produce them as answers, especially when they are doing the listening test. The teacher has to make an effort to make the classroom environment very friendly and very relaxing, and she can also do some test listening before she starts the actual listening part. By test listening, I mean she can play some other audios in order to make the students aware that there is going to be an audio listening activity in the classroom. Sometimes the teacher tells the students that there is a listening activity, but still some of them do not really understand what is going to happen. So in order to make the classroom friendly environment, in order to listen, the students need to know what is going to be the process of the listening activity. For that purpose, the teacher can do a test listening activity first. Like, for example, she can say, okay, now I'm going to play an audio in front of you. So she can play any other audio and then she can tell them, after stopping the audio, that this audio was for you for collecting information. So when I will play the actual tape for you, you need to collect the information. And these steps she can also write on the board for people who really need some help and support to understand the message given by the teacher. The teacher should not expect that whatever she is doing as an activity in the class would be taken up in its real form by the students, and especially not by all the students in the class. There would be some students in the class who would not really understand what is a listening activity. So for that reason, the teacher has to work a lot in making the classroom a friendly environment for the students to go through the listening activity and make them familiar with the activity of listening. And therefore, the students would be able to listen for details, listen to the numbers, listen to the intonation, and listen to the pronunciation according to the required standards of the examination and the examiner. Until and unless all these instructions are given by the teacher and shown to the students that this is the process of listening activity, because it is something new for the students to do that, only then can the students perform well, and only then a listening session can go well.